Boy, oh boy, do I have a good one for you today. The last matches, episodes 1 and episode 2. Yeah, we're going to go through all of these decks, and that's why those videos exist. We did Angelic Accountants, not great. We did Balancing Act, not good at all. In fact, I think you'd just be just as well just grabbing 35 random cards and then putting mana to them. But this deck, oh my god, was it fun to play. And we're going to get right into exactly why I like this deck. Today, we are moving on to Blossoming Grove. Blossoming Growth is a much more interesting deck than the first two that we have explored up to now. This is a very interesting ramp deck. We are trying to ramp into these very large creatures. We have a Hullbreaker Horror. Unfortunately, this is a Hullbreaker Horror that comes with Alchemy, and he does not have that beautiful cannot be countered on him. But always a good card. It's a 7/8. Whenever you cast a spell, choose up to one. Return target spell you don't control to its owner's hand, or return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. You can return a spell to its owner's hand if you cast something, or you can return a non-land permanent to its owner's hand. So, really nice defense. It really goes along with that mirror magic in blue, and I think it's very powerful. Hullbreaker Horror is a very powerful card. We also have the new favorite of everybody, the Titan of Industry. Oh man, this is a good card. So it is expensive, but we have enough ramp in here to really do it. We have Boshedu's Reaches Skyward, where you can search for 2 forest lands. You have... Oh, where was the other one? Yeah, right here. Azusa's Mini Journeys, where you can play an additional land. So you can cast this a lot earlier than you otherwise would without those two cards. You also have some Jewel Thieves. And he's a 3/3, and whenever he enters a battlefield, he creates a treasure. So that's more treasure that, or more mana that gets out onto the field. You also have ways of getting to him with the Organ Hoarder. Yes. When he enters a battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put one of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. And you also have a way to draw with Case the Joint. Draw 2 cards, look at the top card of each player's library. Yes, this is expensive to draw 2 cards, but you get a little bit of foresight into what your opponent will draw, and a little bit of insight into what you will draw. So I think this will work out a lot better than the other 2 decks. We also have a bit of control with Colossal Sky Turtle. We will probably be cycling this guy. But if we could cast the Sky Turtle and have a 6/5 flyer with War 2, I'm not going to complain too much. There is a lot more optionality. We have 25 lands. We have ways to get those lands. We have ways to cycle through a deck with Modern Age, with Case the Joint, Organ Hoarder, ways to create treasures with Prize Fight, Jewel Thief, Boshedu's Reaches Skyward, etc., etc. I think this deck will work out a lot better than the previous decks we have done. Let's get into some matches and see how it does. Oh, and by the way, before we go into the matches, make sure you like and subscribe. I know we are a small channel, but we are growing, and we are growing, in my opinion, quite rapidly and quite well. So there's a lot of attention being drawn to the channel, and I just want to continue that. So like and subscribe if you like the material. You'll see more and more of this kind of stuff all the time. If this series does well, maybe we do another series that's just straight budget deck. Well, without further ado, let's jump into some matches and see how this does. I think it's going to do better. It certainly looks like it's a well-structured deck. See you in the arena. As is tradition, we are just playing on play since these are budget decks, or not budget decks, since these are starter decks. So we're not expecting to do much in ranked, but we are expecting to get ourselves some wins in play. Hopefully we don't get a bunch of sweaty tryhards in here, like our last decks. But we shall see. Okay. Ooh, that's an expensive. Okay. I think this is too expensive, actually. We got the Hullbreaker Horror, Blossom Prancer, but we do have a Jewel Thief. Can we hold out till turn 3? If we can, that's 4. Let's try. A lot of these decks, I think the mana curve on a lot of these starter decks is a little bit, shall we say, goofy. Awesome. We can get that other land out right now. The Liberator comes out. Hey, it's time for a Jewel Thief. You get a treasure, vigilance, trample, all the things a growing boy needs. Now, he can sack him to get rid of Azusa's many journeys. Don't know if he will. But, as we can notice, he doesn't have card sleeves. So maybe he's new. He has an 80 card deck, a 90 card deck with the things he already has. I don't know how well that's going to do you. Most of the time, you just want a 60 card deck. Stick to the basics. The basics are there for a reason. Let's swing. And we are going to try to protect the Jewel Thief. If he double blocks here, is he going to? He does not. Okay. Cool. So we just get 3 free damage off. I guess I should have Blossom Prancer there, but I don't think it's that necessary. That's pretty nice, that Roaring Earth there. Okay. Artifact or enchantment. Let's actually go ahead and channel this. Try it again. He's going to pass turn. He's going to do it again next turn. But, I mean, we will deal with that when it comes around. We're going to play the Blossom Prancer here. Try to sneak something out of our library. Oh, yes. We get our Titan of Industry, but now the opponent knows about the Titan of Industry. That's a little bit rough. But, once again, we'll handle that when we get there. Okay. So far, I like the board control that we have, but I do not like being behind on cards. I hate being behind on cards in Magic. It's always like the worst feeling ever. Okay. We're going to have to stall this game out a little bit more. So Psychic Pickpocket. And we'll connive. I actually think we discard that. Return that to his hand. Yeah, down to 9. We have a lot more control with this. This is much better than the previous decks with the few moments that I've played it thus far. The Frenzied Trap Breaker comes out again. Pup gets a counter. Awesome, and we are looking at good. We do have enough for the Titan of Industry right now. And I think we play it. He only has 1 mana up. And he's great. He probably doesn't have a counter. We're going to create a Rhino, and we're also going to destroy this enchantment here. Yes, yes, we're looking really good. We'll swing with these 3. And this is fatal. He has the blocking. He decides not to and take the easy route out. Victory. Good start. Very good start. Looking at this hand, I don't have anything I want to play early on. So we're going to mulligan this and hope for something better. Here we actually get something better. We're going to have to put something onto the bottom of the library. And it's got to be between the Colossal Sky Turtle or the Titan of Industry. And that's a really hard choice because Titan of Industry is probably one of the best cards. And we only have 1 of them. We have 2 Sky Turtles, though. Is that going to be the determining factor? Oh, I think it might. We want to be able to cast things. And we want the Sky Turtle, but since we have 2 of them in the deck, it might have been better to keep that. But Titan of Industry is so good that I just don't want to give him up because we only have 1 of these suckers. So we're going to have to make sure we hold on to him. Oh, can't do that. No, sir. We can do this, though, and start to ramp a little bit. Next turn, we'll put Jewel Thief out, and he will give us another mana. It would kind of be nice to get to our draw power here. We did not. He's been content to not play any creatures or anything, so we're going to ramp even more, I think. I think that's the right move, because this gives us 4... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in 2 turns, we can put down a Titan of Industry, and that might be it for the game. Yep. Go with the Jewel Thief. Grab a mana. We could actually cast a second Jewel Thief, though. I kind of want to hold it up. So we will. Opponent is slow to react. Probably trying to figure out what to do with this board state. He plays his own Jewel Thief. That's not necessarily great for us. And a Shambling Gas. Very nice. Our turn. Okay. Prize fight. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Create a treasure token. So, we can just immediately cast Titan of Industry. But is that good enough? I almost want to clear away some of this board first. So, what we're going to do is we're going to swing. Where's my mana? He's going to let it through. He's going to block with the Jewel Thief. I'm going to actually do Prize Fight now. Oops. Apparently, it didn't give me my mana there. I should have that extra 3 mana, though. So, I don't know. You might have to do it before you attack. So let me know in the comments, like, why I didn't get mana there. I should have. Yep, Grim's Bounty. I kind of deserved that. And I think our opponent's actually playing one of the starter decks here. I'm pretty sure. Otherwise, why run Grim's Bounty? No, I don't know if they have the pathways in them, though. I don't think there's any tricolor decks, so this is his own creation. So we just have to be better than him. And not make silly mistakes like we just did. It is time for Titan of Industry. Beautiful. Rhino and put a shield counter. Should we shield? Who should we shield? Probably the Jewel Thief. And then we'll swing. 7/7 trample is no joke. Yep. The gas is going to block the Jewel Thief. We get all 3 damage off. He's probably going to create a treasure here. And we're looking really good to take 2 in a row, but we are not out of the woods yet. There is still plenty of game. He has 9 mana on the field. Yes, sure, we have a large board presence, but we only have 1 card in hand. He has 4 and 9 mana. And there's this big creature right here. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create that many treasure tokens. Well, nice way to get a bunch of mana out. And the security rocks. Very nice. As said, there is still game to be played. Now I gotta figure out how I want to get around this. These are the ones you sack. Now, we'll play a land. And let's see how he wants to block this. This might be a mistake. 11 damage coming at face. He's blocking the Rhino with the Innkeeper. Do we get a block on the Titan of Industry? We don't. Which makes me assume that he is going to swing with that dragon. Old Gnawbone. That's a good card. A Tushi, the Blazing Sky. Flying Trample. And he gets shenanigans whenever he swings. Or whenever he dies. Okay. Swinging with the rock. And he's swinging with the Old Gnawbone. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we got 12. We could kill that. But if they're going to be tapped, I don't know how much I care. We have plenty of life. Now he has plenty of treasure. 12 treasures for the opponent. What are you going to do with them? You have 1 card. Next turn, swing with everything. Hope for the best. Sounds like a smart plan to me. Alright, he gets to create another treasure. Not quite sure why. Swing with everything and get out of this match. Yeah, good game. Good game. Two in a row. That already puts this deck ahead of the other 2. As stated before we started these matches, I think that this deck is far superior to the other 2 decks that we have played so far. And so far, it has been living up to that standard. It is the first game that we did not get Titan of Industry. We do get Boseiju, though. That's really good. And we get Azusa Mini Journeys. These 2 enchantments, these 2 sagas are very good together. So we're going to keep it. We got a prize fight. Hopefully we get a good target with the Jewel Thief. Ooh. And we got ourselves another land. That's awesome. Well, that means that we can play Azusa, a Mini Journeys, and get that dude out on the field. Next turn, we could cast Boseiju. Turn 3 Boseiju is pretty good. Pretty awesome. And we get a cleanup crew. As said, this deck is actually a pretty well-constructed deck. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not great. Did not want that to happen. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Cleanup crew, not a good time for cleanup crew, but it is, I mean, it's well valued anyway. Okay. I think we go Case the Joint. We'll draw 2 cards. He's got Jader coming out. We got a land coming out. We also got a Modern Age that turn, too. Okay. I'm guessing we're going to have to go with the Jewel Thief here, which is not bad by any means. And now we can prize fight. Yes. Get rid of him. We don't want that zombie coming back over and over again. Especially if he's going to be using disputes and stuff like that. Alright, Poison the Cup, that's fair. That is fair. We're Sunshine, huh? At the beginning of your turn, choose one. Creatures get +1/+1 and trample until the end of turn. Or target land gets add 3. Oh, wow. 3 forests. Draw a card if you control a creature with power 3 or greater. Man, oh man. This deck just has everything going for it, doesn't it? Yep. Let's go to the beginning of my combat. And view the battlefield real quick. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw a card and swing for 3. We could always do the Modern Age as well. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. We probably want to discard the Jewel Thief at this point in the game, right? We have the mana. Oh, yep, that's a wicked, wicked card. Yeah, we're going to discard the blue. And we're going to destroy this enchantment. We don't want this on the field. Destroy target enchantment. Yep. Okay. Draw a card. Another Modern Age. I don't know if that's quite what we wanted, but that is what we got. Of course you have another one. But does it even matter? Alright, 1/1 and trample. Okay, let's swing first. We're going to draw another card. Keep a full hand. It was more mana. Opponent is down to 2. I guess I did miss Fatal. I should have given him +1/+1 and trample. But that's okay. I want to keep this Sky Turtle on the board. And, yeah. Enchant creature, as long as he has... Yeah. So... Enchant artifact or creature. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, +1/+3 and has reach, and tap for 2 green. You can channel him and create a 1/1 green human monk that is mana ramp. Adversary comes out. Rizal. Alright, that is tons of zombies. My turn. You are tapped out, my friend. We're going to return a target creature. This one here. +1/+1 and trample. Okay, let's see if he can get out of this. I doubt he can. He's going to let it through. And there we go. And that is how you go 3-0. Awesome. This is much more fun than the previous 2 decks. This is much more fun. And hello, this is your editor speaking. So, These matches all went very, 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 very well, in my opinion. Now, we're going to get to a post game wrap in a second. This was much more effective than the previous rounds with the other decks. And, man, I mean, sometimes Wizards of the Coast just hits it right on the head. Other times they miss the mark. With this deck, I don't think they missed the mark. There are some things I would do to update this deck, as we will get to. And this match you're seeing now actually went down for a loss, but it took over 20 minutes to get there, which means that this deck was consistent enough to win regularly, and whenever the opponent just had more value than us, it still took the opponent a long time to deal with this deck. And just Wizards of the Coast, sometimes I love you. Really well done, really well built starter deck. Pardon that blunder. But it did what it was intended to do, and we always had something we could do to make it better. Without further ado, let's go to the post-game wrap. So, we had the Angelic Accountants, which was pretty decent. Then Balancing Act, which I personally did not like at all. But this deck here was pretty good. It was very solid. Most of the games we went 5-2 at first, and then we lost a couple on the back end, right? But for the most part, this did exactly what I think Magic the Gathering intended for this to do. It had enough ramp in it to cast these larger spells, right? So, what would I do to make this a little bit better? Well, in all honesty, I would put another Glorious Sunrise in this deck, but just one more of these, right? It gives you a lot of diversity in what you want to do, and if you get two of these out in the field, you could essentially get 6 mana for free, which is fantastic, right? Until the end of turn, which is phenomenal. You could also draw 2 cards. You could gain 6 life, right? So that's really nice to have. I would actually end up replacing these Case of Joints with something like Behold the Multiverse. Very, very good for that. You draw 3 cards and then discard 2 unless you discard a basic land. I think it's a little bit better, and I think it costs 1 less, if I'm not mistaken. Right. These Jewel Thieves are fantastic in here. I would actually remove the Croaking Counterpart because it only gives +1/+1. So maybe add one of these guys, take out the Croaking Counterpart, right? A few more of, not prize fights, but Master's Rebuke would be very nice in here, right? So I would add those, and I would probably remove Modern Age. I would also add one more Boseiju and reduce one Azusa's Mini Journeys, because really it's all about getting lands out of your library, and if you're not drawing those lands because you have them all in your hand already, that would make this that much better. Sky Turtles are definitely a must in here. These 2 seem like it's enough. Definitely take this out of the deck. I don't see why it's in this deck, and I would probably put in something like a Fading Hope, right? More bounce magic. In fact, maybe even take these Organ Hoarders out and put more Fading Hopes in. Just like 3 Fading Hopes. Remove this dude. Remove these 2. Even though I really like this creature, it's pretty nice. Right? It's a little underpowered, but you get to look at the top 3 and put 1 into your hand. That's very nice. But we don't have any graveyard effects, so we lose the second half of his ability. And also, when it really comes down to it, maybe this Psychic Pickpocket can leave, and the Sludge Monster, and add 2 more Titan of Industries into this. I know that they're mythics, and mythics are generally very expensive, but I think it will add a lot to this deck. So I really like this deck. I would actually, in its current form, put this at a 4 or a 4.5. It might not be a perfect starter deck, but it's pretty darn close to it. Like, if you're using these starter decks, I would definitely consider this one to be one of your mains. But that's all I have for today. Again, I will ask you to like and subscribe if you've gotten this far into the video. I really enjoyed playing this. I hope you enjoyed the video. But I'm out of words, so bye.